So tonight, we are going to have a discussion regarding how you can be able to build your first ETL pipeline as a data engineer in 2025, and also scraping data from the web. But before we jump right into the discussion, I would love to know you and where you are joining us from, okay? I would love to know you and where you are joining us from. So feel free to type in your name and then the location of where you are joining us from so that we can get to know each other before we jump right into the discussion that we have for today. Okay, so feel free to type in your name and where you're joining us from so that I can have a very, very interesting discussion right away. You can see that we have close to 30 people on the call. All right, so we're still expecting a lot more others to join. All right, we still expect others to join. And if you know anyone that this conversation tonight is going to be very, very fruitful to, feel free to share the link to this meeting with them so that they can join, share with your friends, your family members, even your enemy that you think that should know or should also look towards growing themselves this year. Please feel free to share the link to this conversation with them so they can also be able to join us for this conversation that we are having this night. Okay, I can see a couple of comments dropping. Let me quickly go through it. I have Gaga from Benin City, Nigeria. I have Smooth from Nigeria. I have Maimuna from Tanzania. I have Moshood from Lagos, Nigeria. Justice from Nigeria. Kelvin from Nigeria. Robert from Nigeria. It's like Nigeria is winning today. I've seen a lot of people from Nigeria and someone from Tanzania as well. Okay, I still expect others to also drop in their name and where they are joining us from so that I can do a quick geographical check to know where everyone on this call is joining us from tonight. Okay, and while we are at it, I'm waiting for you to also drop where you are joining us from. Please, like I've said earlier, if you know anyone that the discussion for tonight is going to help, please feel free to share the link with that person. Okay, if you know anyone that needs to know or hear what we're talking about tonight, feel free to share the link to this discussion with them. Okay, for them to be able to join us and have an understanding of everything that we are going to be discussing tonight. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to start off the discussion. Oyindamola, please confirm that you can hear me again. I seem to be having a lag on my second screen, which I want to be sure that it's not affecting every other person else.
Yeah, you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Okay, like I've said earlier, our discussion tonight is buoyed on building your first ETL pipeline as a data engineer. So how do you get to build those pipelines? You've seen people try to scrape websites, try to scrape different platforms, and then transform the data in an integrated development environment before loading it to a database. How do you get to do that? We are going to be having a discussion with respect to how you can be able to also practice this ETL pipeline. But before we jump right into it, I'll walk you through the people that is organizing this conversation for today. So we are Tenalytics, the leading educational technology company that is helping people of the Black community to break into the tech industry. So what we do is that we lower the entry barrier by teaching you using project-based model for you to understand all that you need to know regarding the particular tech career path that you want to take. All right, for the last 4 years, we will help close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing a role in UK, US, Canada, Europe, Asia, and of course, also Africa. And the main courses that we've used to help people reduce across data analytics, business analysis, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, cybersecurity, and soon to come AI engineering, and of course, data engineering, which is the main thing that we are going to be discussing today. Okay, and our team of instructors come from amazing companies like PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, to walk you through using the experience that they have on the job to teach you. So it's not a classroom where you come in and you're learning theoretically, no. It is full hands-on practical based for you to understand all that you need for you to land a job. And that is who we are. And who am I that is speaking to you tonight? My name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa, and I am the CEO of Tenalytics. But before then, I've worked as a governance risk and compliance officer and also as a strategic consultant for close to a decade now in several industries. All right. As the CEO of Analytics, I've helped close to 2,000 people move from our classroom into landing a job specifically from my own aspects. Okay. And my experience cuts across governance, risk, and compliance in the banking sector, head of control in the fintech industry, data analyst also in the fintech industry, and also a business consultant in the hospitality sector. I've worked in the financial service sector, I've worked in the capital market, I've worked in the hospitality industry, and right now I'm in the educational technology sector. Okay, you can connect with me on LinkedIn at Chukwemeka Ekba, on Twitter at Emeka_highs, and also Instagram at Ekba_chooks if you want us to have a more personalized conversation with regards to you breaking into the tech industry. And with me today is no other person than the amazing Taiwo. Okay, I have Taiwo with me on the call. So Taiwo is an expert when it comes to data engineering. Taiwo, are you there to say hello to the house before I go ahead with introducing you? Okay, I don't know if Taiwo is there. Oyindamola, please confirm that you can still hear me.
Okay, yes, I'm here. So thank you. My name is Taiwo. Welcome to this masterclass. So I bring over like a kind of industry experience in data engineering. And so I can't wait to like delve into what we have today. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Taiwo. It's good to have you on the call. So Taiwo brings over half a decade of experience in data engineering, data analysis, with respect to Python, SQL, ETL, ELT, and of course, data warehousing, and of course, cloud engineering. She's a data engineer, cloud engineer, Azure, AWS, GCP, and of course, a big data expert. Her own experience spans across the technology sector, the fintech industry, FMCG, telecoms, and of course, entertainment sector. So if you have specific questions relating to entertainment, also feel free to shoot it at Taiwo tonight because she'll be able to answer all those questions that you need. Okay? And she has consistently leveraged data to drive strategic decision making and innovation. And today, we're going to be hearing from her with respect to how you can build your first ETL pipeline with regards to you breaking into the industry as a data engineer. Okay, so first I'm going to walk us through what we're also going to be doing today so that we'll have an understanding of the areas that we are going to be scratching. So we are going to first of all dissect and make sure that you understand what data engineering is all about. Okay, we're going to help you understand what data engineering is all about, and then also walk you through how you can build your first end-to-end web scraping ETL pipeline, okay, with regards to finding a job. So the example we're going to be using tonight is also relating to finding a job. Okay, we're going to be making use of several tools for you to be able to practice this. So first, we'll help you understand what data engineering entails fully, and then walk you through how you can also be able to build your first end-to-end web scraping ETL pipeline, and then also walk you through how you can get into data engineering role, and of course, what you must learn if you're looking to transition. For instance, you're coming from a banking sector, you're coming from the customer service role, you're coming from being a lawyer. What are the things that you need to learn if you're looking to break into the industry as a data engineer? Then lastly, we'll talk to you about our upcoming cohorts that are slated for February 8th, and also the success stories of people that have been able to do this before now. And we also have an amazing discount for you by virtue of you being in this session. Okay. And if you have something different that you would love to know, something different that you also want to gain that is not here, feel free to put it in the comment section so that we'll also be able to pick it up from there. All right. But before we jump into this discussion, I want to ask a very important question. If you've been here before, if you've been in any of our sessions before now, please just drop in a 1, right? And if today is your first time of being in a session with us, please drop in a 1. And if you've been in any of our sessions before now, just drop in a number as you want. So 1 signifies that today is your first time being here. So that I will also be sure and know how I converse with people regarding if they've been here before or if today is their second or third time, okay? So if today is the first time you are joining any of our sessions, feel free to type in a 1. But if you've been in our class before now, please type in a number that pleases you. Okay, fantastic. I can see a couple of 1. Frank, Maimwa, Justice, Rashida, Ogo, Olowoniyi. all right, and say a couple of ones, which means that they have been here before. And of course, Jokanola, maybe this is the seventh time that he's joining us. Okay, it's good to have you all on the call tonight. Okay, so my colleague is going to be dropping a link in the comment section. Okay, so this link is for you to have access to the recorded version of this discussion and also have access to the slide that we're using for this conversation. Okay, so if you want to have access to them, make sure that you fill that attendance form, because that is what we are going to be using to share the slides and also the recorded version of this session after this meeting is over. Okay, so make sure you fill it so that we'll be able to contact you immediately the conversation is over. All right, I'm going to jump into the discussion for today. And what for the last 3 sessions that I've had now, I've constantly used this exact page. And that is to ring in our heads what is actually going on right now. So how many of us saw this tweet from Elon Musk? That should be a couple of days ago. As at 15 January, he tweeted something and he said that if you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build everything up, please join us by sending your best work to code@s.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code, right? So if you heard what he said clearly, he's mentioned, we don't care where you went to school, which means they don't care whether you went to Harvard, whether you went to Cambridge, whether you went to University of Hull, whether you went to University of Nigeria, University of Tanzania, as the case may be, or even whether you went to school at all, which means even if you didn't go to school at all, they do not even care. Or what big name company you've worked at, whether you've worked at KPMG, Deloitte, Apple, Microsoft, as the case may be, they do not care. What they want is just for you to show them your code. I mean, when we see this type of conversations or tweets from the world richest man, what comes to our mind? Okay, I think Frederick mentioned that he saw it. So Frederick, when you saw it, just type in what came to your mind when you saw this tweet from the richest man in the world, that they do not care with school certification, whether you went to school at all, just show us your code. Or even if today is the first time you are seeing this, what comes to your mind when you see a tweet like this? Robert mentioned practical. Ogo Robert said practical. Fantastic, Ogo. And you are correct, 100% correct. Okay. So the world has shifted from certification-based environment towards a practical-based environment. Okay, so it is 100% practical right now. Nobody cares what school you attended. Nobody cares the certificates you are coming with. What everyone is interested in, what skills and competency, correct, that like the same way Akinyele mentioned, what skill and competency can you bring into this company? Okay, so it does not matter what colorful paper you have, just showing workings and you are good to go. Fantastic from Frederick as well. So this is to tell you that the era of certification is over. Okay, so why I'm starting off with this is because most time people always ask, okay, after this, what certification do I need to go for? So clearly your skill and experience is sufficient for you to be able to land a role. And if it's coming from the world richest man, that we don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at, just show us your code. It is clear that the era of certification is clearly coming to an end. Nobody cares. Show your skills and experience, and you're definitely going to get into the career path that you are looking to get into. So we're going to talk about data engineering first. I know when we hear about data engineering, people always have a lot of misconception, right? For instance, I studied civil engineering, and what I've noticed is that when people from our engineering background back then in school wants to break into tech, we all try to tilt towards data engineering because we want to maintain our status as, oh, I'm an engineer. But it doesn't really function that way. That you're a civil engineer or that you're an electrical engineer or that you're a mechanical engineer, you don't have any relatability in the tech industry with regards to what you are going to be doing. Okay, so these people, data engineers, let me explain it in layman's terms. They serve as the plumbers that we see in construction companies, right? So when you go to a construction company, you see a plumber that is trying to build different pipelines to make sure that water flows within that building seamlessly. That at any point they open the tap or open the shower or open the sink or open anything in the house, water is going to flow seamlessly. It's because that plumber has been able to build a pipeline that connected different outlets to the water system or to the central tank. That's how the data engineer, the responsibility is to design and build systems and architecture that enable data to flow within the system easily. Okay, so they enable data to be collected, for it to be stored, and of course, for it to be processed. That at any point, for instance, the data scientist goes to the database and calls for a data, is going to flow seamlessly and come out for that person in front. Okay, so data engineering serves as the foundation for data analytics and data science because they make sure that data is reliable, accessible, and also structured in a way that these other data experts can utilize it. Okay, which means, I mean, before now we may have heard about data analytics, we have heard about data science. These people analyze data to bring out insights and also build predictive model from data. But someone behind the scene needs to build those pipelines to make sure that data flows easily to be available for the analysts and scientists. And that's where the data engineers come in. So they make sure that data flows seamlessly within the industry for it to be accessible and for it to be available for people that are going to be working with it. Right. So the goal as a data engineer is simple: for you to know the QSA framework. Right. So once you understand the QSA framework, everything that you are going to be doing as a data engineer has a link towards it fully. Right. And it starts from quality, scalability, and availability of data. Right. So quality regards to how do you ensure that the data is accurate, consistent, and free from errors. Scalability regards to how do you ensure that the systems and pipeline can handle the growing volumes of data. Okay, for instance, if yesterday your company was churning out 8,000 data every day, by today it must have doubled that because constantly the economy is growing, everything is changing. Okay, which means constantly companies improve on their data. So you need to be able to be sure that the pipeline can also handle growing volumes of data efficiently and of course availability of data, where you have to ensure that data is accessible to stakeholders and tools when needed. Okay, so this thing can range from cleaning raw data to designing architectures and of course to ensuring minimum downtime. But today, we are going to be concentrating on one part of it. Okay, we're going to be concentrating on one part of it, which is about designing architectures, and that's part of scalability. Okay, we're going to be looking at designing architectures and how exactly do you learn as a data engineer? You are trying to break into data engineering. How exactly do you learn? Okay, and that is where projects come in fully. If you are looking to build up your experience, if you are looking to function fully as a data engineer, project practicals is very, very, very important because there is no other way that you can be able to build up everything that you have. There's no other way that you can be able to improve on what you need to know if you do not have enough practical project-based knowledge, which is why today Taiwo is going to be walking us through how you can build your first end-to-end web scraping ETL pipeline to have an understanding of what data engineering entails, some of the tools that you're going to be using, and how you should be able to learn data engineering for you to be able to also land a job. So I'm going to bring up my colleague, Taiwo, to take it up from here. Hello,
Okay.
Taiwo. The floor is
Hi,
yours.
thank you, Chukwemeka. So yes, so today we'll be working on building your first ETL pipeline on web scraping. So let's get right started. So I'll share my screen now. So Okay, so if you can see my screen, please comment on the chat box. All right, that's good then. All right. So we'll be focusing on this case study. We're looking at Tech Connect jobs. Now, we're going to scrape data from their website. And what's Tech Connect jobs all about? They're like a small job listing websites that they focus on connecting tech talent to like companies, like they hire skilled professionals. And this is what they focus on. Well, what do they're currently facing challenges. They have problems they're facing. That is, they are collecting this data manually. So they're collecting data manually and they're storing it in spreadsheets. And this can lead to errors, is time consuming, it's not efficient at all. So now what is the solution for this? They need an automated solution. Now, the aim of this project we're going to be working on is to automate the data collection instead of using the manual process. Automate this data collection from the job listing websites using web scraping, then design a data pipeline that will extract this data, clean the data, and store this job posting data in our database. Okay, I will also ensure that this pipeline that we're building can handle daily updates without having any manual intervention. So yes, let's get started. So these are the tech stacks we're going to be using today. We're going to use Python mainly to do the main pipeline. Then we'll also make use of SQL, PostgreSQL to store our data also. So what do you need? You just need like a good PC. You can use, once you have a good functioning PC, you can do that also. You also need a good internet connection, an internet browser. And also these packages we're going to be using, we need to install them into the environment we're going to use. And we're also going to make it of VS Code, pgadmin. So not to worry, it might sound technical right now, but once you get into the program, you know how it's done, how you install all this, or how you use all these tools that I'm mentioning. Okay. All right, so this is the data pipeline architecture that we have. So our data source is the Tech Connect, and we're using Python to extract data from Tech Connect and transform it, then load it in PostgreSQL. So this is how our architecture looks like. And this is the project workflow. So we're going to set up our pipeline scripts using Beautiful Soup and Request to extract our job posting and just extract fields like job title, company name, the location, the date posted, the salary, different fields that we need to be able to make a better decisions in Tech Connect. And we'll also clean this data that we're extracting, transform it, and then load it into our PostgreSQL. All right, so let's begin. Yes. So I'm going to be using VS Code for this. So VS Code is actually a flexible tool when you're dealing with, it's like different extensions you can integrate when working with when building your pipelines. And that's why it's a very good tool to use. So the first thing we want to do is to be able to import those packages I mentioned, is to be able to import these packages, these tools to be able to extract our data. So we need requests library, we need the Beautiful Soup, and we need pandas. So these are three key tools that we're going to use to be able to extract our data, transform our data, and be able to load it into our database. Okay, so you can follow along. So pay attention and just enjoy the class. So the first thing, like I said, is to import our libraries. So importing requests. Import the request library. We also import Beautiful Soup. So from BS4, import Beautiful Soup. All right. And the last library we want to also import is the pandas library, which is used for data manipulation, just to clean our data, transform our data before it's then stored. So I'm going to import pandas also. hot pandas. So the good thing about it is even if you're a beginner in Python or even anything about tech, we take you down step by step, like from beginner level. We teach you how you can get started from installing all these tools to importing it and just getting started with building your pipeline to more advanced levels. Okay, so now I'm going to run this. Okay, so I'll just add an S there. So run this again. So while we wait, okay, yes, that has run successfully. So I'm going to show you the websites we're going to scrape data from. So just like I said, we're scraping from Find a Job website. All right, so this is the website we're scraping data from. So we have this website is Find a Job, Government UK. So these are all these job listings are in the UK. So we're going to extract every single job listing on this page. Every single job listing on this page, from the title, the job title, the date posted, the company name, the salary, and even the description. All right. So I'm going to copy this URL. So whenever you want to scrape any website, you need the URL because that is what you're going to use to scrape this data successfully from the website. So I'm going to copy this. Then from the URL equal to. So now I have my URL successfully. So now another thing I want you to take note of is whenever you want to scrape from your websites, you have to be able to inspect the page because websites are built in HTML. You have HTML structure. So once I click, for instance, once I right click on this and I click inspect, I'm just going to hide this. All right. So you can see it has brought out all the old structure of this page. So this is how this page was built in HTML. You can see doc type HTML. So this is everything, everything on this page is what you have here. And you know where I right click is the first job posting, the first job listing, which we have here, which is the div class. So whenever you're scraping data from the web, there are two important things you need to take note of: the tags and the attributes. The tags and the attributes. Now the tags are what you have that starts everything on the HTML structure. So from the div, the body, the header, that is what we call tags. Now we have attributes that follow along, which is the class. So this search result is my attribute. So whenever I want to extract data from the website, I'm looking out for two things: the tag and the attributes. So two key things you need to look out for. So now let's go ahead to extract our data and get a response. Okay, so the first thing you also want to take note of is whenever you want to scrape your data, you want to be able to make sure that, okay, can I go ahead to scrape this website? You want to check, okay, can I get a successful response once I make a request to this website? So that's what I'm going to do. Go to response, make a request to the server that, okay, I want to scrape social data. Am I good to go? Can I do that? So that's what I'm going to do now. The URL that we already formed before. Response. So I'm going to run this and see what response I get. If it's a success, all right. So I got a response 200. So whenever you get a response 200, it means that you are good to go and you can go ahead to scrape this data. It shows that, okay, that was successful. So now I've been able to get the all websites into this response. So let's now get the whole HTML structure within this Python environment. Okay. I'm going to say soup equal to. So now, you know, we also imported the beautiful soup. Now, beautiful soup is just like a way for you to beautify whatever response is coming from the website. It is a way for Python to understand what you're bringing in. It gives meaning to the HTML structure. So it's like, okay, I can read your HTML for you. I can simplify it for you and I can extract the content for you. So that is what we want to use it for, beautiful soup. So you're beautifying your soup. Okay. So I'm going to use it, beautiful soup. Then this response that we've gotten here, we're going to put it within, okay, we want you to read this response, beautify the response so that it's easier for us to extract the data we need. And we want you to focus on the contents of this response, the content of this response, okay? And we're going to make use of the HTML pass. So we're passing through this HTML to be able to read through it. HTML pass, all right? So I'm going to run this and see what we have. All right, so that has run successfully. So let's check our soup. All right, so you see, this is everything we have on the web page, from the doc type HTML that down to the last thing on the page, on the HTML, it has collected everything into this soup, and it has made it easier for us to work with. So just like you can see the doc type HTML, when we go to the web page, you also see from the beginning we have doc type HTML. So everything that is here, we have collected it into this soup. So now we can work with this soup. We can work with whatever is on the website, on the web page within this place. So it's easier for us to work with. All right. So now our main focus on the page. Now everything on the page is what we have here, but we don't want everything on the page. Our consign on the page is just the job listings. We don't want all this remote working location. We don't want all that, or this sign into page. No, we just want to focus on the 10 job listings we have on this website. Okay, so let me show you, for example, if I click on this old box now, for this old website, for this old first job listing, it will take me to this first tag, that's its tag div and class search results. If you look at the second one also, the same thing. If you look at the third one, for the 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For the 10 job listings, this is the tag and the attribute that we're going to work with. Now, because if you notice one thing, they're all the same. The tag and the attributes, they're all the same. Now, that just makes it easier for us. So instead of extracting one by one, we get to extract the all 10 job listings just using one tag and one attribute. Okay, because they're all the same. Okay, so let's go ahead to extract the job listings only from our soup that we already extracted before. Okay, so I have my job listings. I want to store everything in the job listings that I have that I'm creating here. The job listings equal to the soup already collected before, this soup that already extracted before, dot find all. So I say, okay, go into this soup. That's going to the HTML structure. Anywhere you see div, that is the tag we already I showed you before. So anywhere you see this div, anywhere you find it and you see class, the attributes, search results, extract everything. So wherever it sees the div ID, the tag div and the class search result, it will extract everything related to that. Okay, so let's do that. So I say, okay, go into the HTML structure. Anywhere you find div, that is what I want you to extract. Anywhere you find div, extract it with the class, the attributes class of search results. Okay, search results. All right. So now we're going to run this and we'll see what we have. Job listings. So let's run it. So now that has run successfully. So now we'll not check what we've extracted from our soup. So I'll just run these job listings again, the variable name. So all this, you're going to learn step by step how you can assign variable, like this variable we created and our stored all our results into this variable. So now this variable, we can run it wherever we want to run because we already have our results there. Okay, so I'll run this. And there you have it. So if you look at this job listings, well, starting from the first job, you can see the first job. This is company name. This is the title, the data engineer, the link, the location, the salary, and the same thing for all the old 10, each of them. So everything you have here is up to 10, all the 10 job listings you have on that page. So out of everything on the page, we have been able to extract only what we are focusing on, only the job listings. Okay, making use of the tag and the attribute. That's why I said working with the tags and attributes is very, very key. It's very, very key. Okay, so now let's move forward. Now that we already extract what we need, our focus for this website, we're now going to start extracting each of the fields that we're working with, okay? So let's go ahead. So I'm just going to show you. All right, so if you come here, let's take, for example, the first one. So I'll click on this just to, so if I come to this title now, and I click on this title, it take me to this tag. Can you see the tag? The tag is different from the div tag that we worked with before. This is tag A. And this tag A mostly signifies that, okay, I'm working with a link, right? So you can see the link for that job, particular job listing. And if you click down on this, you see the title, which is in text form. This is in text form, right? So now we want to extract all the titles on this page. We want to extract all the dates posted on this page, all the companies on this page, and all the salaries. So let's do that. Let's start with the title and with the link. Okay, so take note of the tag, which is A, and the attribute, which is Gov UK link. All right. So let's do that. So first thing. Okay, please mute your mic. All right, so let's continue. All right, so I'm going to create an empty list to store all the titles that I'm extracting from this page. I'm going to create an empty list. All right. And then I can now extract my titles, right? So I'm saying, okay, title equal to. So remember I said, so you know I've already extracted all the jobs we're working with, the job listing I'm working with into these job listings, right? So that's what we're going to work with. We're saying, okay, go into the job listings. Go into the job listings, and anywhere you find tag A and attributes plus Gov UK link, extract it. All right, so that's what we want to do now. So anywhere you find Gov A, tag A and attributes class Gov link, extract everything from it. All right, we're going to do that. A and the class, which is equal to. So we can just go to the website and copy it to just to have an exact so this Gov link is what we need. I'll click on it, copy it, and paste it there, right? All right, so there's something we're supposed to do, okay? Because we want to extract for all the jobs in this page, on this page, and we don't have to start going one by one. We want to extract it at the same time, at a go. We're going to use a loop. So a loop is something when you go over something over and over again until you get to the last. So that's what we're going to do for each of the job title, for those 10 job titles. So it will start from the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, until it gets to the last one. All right. So I'm saying, okay, for each job in the job listings that we already have there, for each job in the job listings. So because if you just do this without using a loop, you just extract only one job title for you. But because you want to extract everything at a go without having to go one by one, you have to use a loop. So during the course, we teach you how to what kind of loop you use, whether it's a for loop, a while loop. So I'm going to use a for loop for this. So for each job in our job listings, so we're supposed to have an indentation here. So for each job in our job listings, I want to go into these job listings. Anywhere you find A, extract all the titles for me and extract all the links for me, okay? So if title, I'm just going to signify this as title elements, so you know the difference. So if title elements, So if the title element, that's if this is present, since we're already using the job, I'll just change this to job also. So if this job with this A tag is present in our job listings, I want you to extract the title and the link. So that's what we're going to do now. Extract the title and the link. Title dot append. Okay, and if you notice from the page, if you notice when we check the title, you can see that the title is in text form, right? So we only want to get the text. We want to, okay, extract this text form. And in Python, you have a function for that, okay, dot text. We want to use, okay, this is the text form we're trying to extract, okay? Okay, go into this job title. Anywhere you find the job title element, extract the text from it. Dot text. And we're going to strip any spaces that is coming from the front or from the back, just so we get only the data engineer title. Only the data engineer title. Okay. So this is just add this title. Titles. Because we're trying to get all the titles. And the same thing for the link, because if you notice the link and the title are together. So when you check the page, you can see that when you click on the title, you have the link there, right? Okay, Semi, talk, but you're raising your hand, please. Okay, so let me just check. Okay, Semi, talk, you're raising your hand. You can drop your question on the chat box. So once I'm done, you can I'll just attend to that. All right. So if you notice the title and the links, the job link is together. Okay. I see people raising their hands. I see people raising their hands. Okay, so you can drop your questions in the chat box. You can drop your questions in the chat. So you can drop your questions in the chat box and I'll attend to it after the session. Okay. So let's continue. So like I was saying, so you can see the title and the link are together. So we want to extract the title and we also want to extract the link. And if you check the HTML structure, you can see the link. For the link, we have the href, and that's what we're going to use to be able to extract the link from this title. All right. So the same thing I did, I'm going to also create an empty list for the links to store all the links we're extracting. I'm going to links dot append. So we're appending everything we're extracting to our empty list. We're storing everything we're extracting, the titles and the links, to the empty list that we already created. Append title elements dot. Okay, so we just use the href for the link, because that's the link, and we already have an attribute associated with that. So that's why we're using the href. Okay, so I'm going to run this and see what we have. So as simple as this, we get to extract our data. So let's run this cell and see what we have. So I'll create another cell and check what we have in our titles. Run this. All right. So can you see the 10 job listings we have on that page? We've been able to extract all the titles from the, if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything on that page. This is all the titles on that page. We've been able to extract it. Let's check the links also. So links, the same thing with the links. We've been able to extract all the links successfully, right? So now let's go ahead to extract other fields. So let's say we want to extract the date posted. The date posted now. We want to extract the date posted. How are we going to do that? Or the salary, but let's first extract date posted. And we can extract the location also. So for the date posted, let's see what tag date posted as. So we have, if you click on date posted, it will bring you to this. This is date posted. And you can see the tag this is working with. This is Li, L-I. So if you click down on it, you can see the date. This is also in text form, right? This is also in text form. And this is the tag. Now, if you notice, there's not any attribute associated with this. This is just only working with tag. All right. So let's the same thing we did for the title and the link is what we're going to do. So I'm also going to create an empty list to store all the dates that we're extracting. Okay. Date posted. Okay. The empty list that I'm creating, right? And the same way I use the loop to extract all the title and the link is what I'm going to use for the date also. I'm going to use so I'll just leave this as dates. You know, does not confuse us. Okay, so it's the same. I'm going to use a loop also for this. All right, so for each job in our job listings that we already extracted before, for each job, that is for each box that contains a job, contains job information or listing, I want us to go in there, extract the job dates, the dates posted for the first one, go to the second one, extract the dates posted, do that till you get to the last one, that is the 10th one, right? So I'm saying dates posted, I can use date elements, just like we used for the title. Date elements equal to. So if you notice what I did the first time, what did I do the first time I wanted to extract? I used okay, job.find. So we're going to the job listings, anywhere you find Li, that is Li, extract anything that has to do with the Li, that is the date posted. Okay, so job.find. And we'll make use of our tag Li, Li. Because it does not come with any attributes, we're going to leave it as this. All right. Then we'll now go and say, okay, if this date element exists, the date element exists, what do I want you to do? I want you to extract it and append it to this empty storage we have here. Extract it and append it to the empty storage we have created already. So saying dates.append. So append means we're adding something to the list or to a storage. We're appending it to empty dates storage already created. So append the date element. And because we're also working with text, we'll use the text function .strip any spaces that is following before it or after it. Okay. So now let's go ahead to run this. So as simple as ABC, you can see the way we extracted the title and the links, the same way we're going to extract the dates. So I'm going to run this and check what we have for dates. All right, so can you see that it has extracted all dates on the website, the first one to the 10th one. All right, so the next thing we can extract is let's check. We can extract the company name, we can extract the location. Okay, so let's do that. So the same way we did for the title, for the links, for the dates, the same way we're going to do for the location. Okay. Well, let's do the company name first. Let's do the company name first. So create an empty list, an empty storage, like we did. And the same way we use for loop is the same way we're going to use for loop to go into the job listings and find all the companies from starting from the first one to the last one. So for each job box in our job listings, go in there and let's check the tag name for our company. Let's check the tag name. So click on this arrow so it can take us there directly. So this is the company name. So I'll click on this company name and it will take me here. So can you see? Who can tell me the tag name for this? Who can just tell me the tag name for this? Who can tell me? You can type it in the chat box, okay? So you can say the tag name for this is strong. Although it's coming under delete, but this is its own tag name. Starting another line, the tag name for it is strong. It does not come with any attributes. it is only coming with tag name. So we're going to use this tag name to be able to find all the company names we have on this page. So I'm going to use strong. So for each job in job listings, for each job in our job listings that we already extracted before, what I want you to do, extract the company, all the companies using the company element. I'll just create a company element also, equal to job.find. And what is it finding? Anywhere that has strong. That's the tag name, strong. Just as you can see on the website, the web page. So is this strong? Anyway, it locates this strong, it will extract. That's a signal. This is company name. It will extract that information associated with it. Okay. So the same way we use the if statements. So if the company element exists and you have been able to extract this company element, what I want you to do, I want you to append it, add it to our empty storage. This is the empty storage already created, our empty list. So this list is just data structure. So when you are in the program, we teach you all the different data structures we have: dictionaries, the list, the tuples, everything, even data types, how you can work with them. But when, as a data engineer, working with data structures are very important. You work with lists a lot, you work with dictionaries. Okay. So the same thing I did, append to the companies. Means dot append. Okay. So appending the sorry, I'm appending the company elements. The same thing we did also, because that is a text. So I'm extracting the text, dot text. All right. Dot text dot strip. Stripping all the space. So what this strip does is it removes any space in front, any space at the back. It's stripping all the space from the text. So it just comes only with that text. Okay. So now we can now run this and see what we have. So let's check our companies that we've extracted. Companies. Okay, good. Can you see all the companies starting from the expert employment to the essential employment? If you check the page, you get to see all these company names. So you see the expert employment, essential employment, the Thames Water, everything, NHS jobs. It extracts all the company names for you. Now we can now go ahead to extract the location, right? Before we leave the page, let's check the tag for the location. Let's check the tag for the location. So I'll go straight to the location, click on it, and it'll take me directly there. So you can see, what do you notice about this location? What is the tag for it? So you can put it in the chat box. You can see that the tag for it is span. Just for the company name where we had strong, we have span for the location. It does not come with attributes, but it's only coming with this tag name, which we are going to use to locate all the other locations on this web page. Okay. So now let's do the same thing. The same thing we did for the others, the same thing we're going to do. So create an empty storage, an empty list to store all the locations we're going to extract. So location equal to our empty storage. Right? So the same thing for each job in our job listings. For each job in our job listings, what do I want you to do? I want you to go in there. Anywhere you find span, the tag span, extract it and add it to our empty list. Okay. So we're going to create an empty location element also, like we did for the rest. Location element equal to job dot, what I'm telling you to do? Telling you to go and find anywhere you see span. Extract it for me. Anywhere you see span, extract it. Okay. So anyway, you see span, extract it, and then So, okay, if you be able to locate this element, this span, and be able to extract the location elements, I want this to append this location to the empty storage that we already created before. Okay. So if location exists, so this if is just uses an if else statement used to write is what's I mean by conditional statements. Okay, you're giving it a conditional. If this location element exists, you can now go ahead to do this. But if it does not exist, else do this. So all these things we're going to teach you in the training, how you can write logics, how you can write conditions, how you can make use of if else statements in your code. Because as a data engineer, you're going to be writing this. You're going to be using for loops, functional statements, if else. Okay. So location elements. What should you do? Append it to the location. That's the empty storage. Add it to the empty storage. Dot append. Dot append. All right. The same thing we did. Location element. Location element. All right. Dot text. Dot text. And dot strip. So we're stripping also the same thing we did. Stripping any space we have. So now I'm going to run this. Now I'm going to run this and check the location that we already extracted. So location, run this. All right. So now you can see all the locations that were already extracted before. From the first one, Edinburgh, showing you Central London, Reading, Manchester, all the locations for the job have extracted it successfully. Okay. So let's extract one more field before we go into the transformation phase, right? So let's extract one more field. So let's extract our salary. Okay. So we need the salary information, okay, to know what this company is offering, the minimum salary to the maximum salary that this company can offer. All right. So I'll click on this arrow to take me straight to the salary. All right. And as you can see for the salary also, if you notice, what is the tag there? We have tag strong, the same thing for our location. So we're going to use strong, tag strong, okay? But can somebody tell me what they noticed from the location, sorry, the company name and salary? So let me just hear from you so I know that everybody's following. Who can tell me what they noticed? Who can tell me what they noticed for the company name that we started before and this salary information for the tag? So can anybody tell me what they noticed? 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, is everybody following? If you're following, type a 1 on the chat box. Type a 1 in the chat box. Let me know that we're still following. Okay, Lois, Derek, Steve, Precious. All right, all right. That's good. Good to know that you're following. Good to know that you're following. All right. So one thing you notice from, okay, somebody said something. Yeah, they're both text attributes. Good. And if you also notice from the company name, you can see the tag is strong. They also have strong tag for our salary also. So we have to be able to know what we're doing. So we may not be able to use this strong, so that, but if we use the strong again, it will extract only the job link for us. So okay. So now I'm going to teach you another method you can use to do this. All right. So let's do that. So instead of using this strong, I will make use of this lead, and I'll also write a condition that will allow us to extract only the salary. Okay. So let's just get started. Let's get started. All right. So the same way we did create an empty list for the others, we're going to create an empty list for our salary also. So salary go to our empty list. And the same way we use loops is the same way we're going to use loops for this also. So for every job, for each job, for job in job listings, right? What do I want you to do? Go in there, and anywhere you find the extract the information, right? So the same way with salary element equal to job dot find. Okay. Now you may be wondering that what's this job that we're always using? This job, what are we? Is this same job that we're using here? So I say, okay, for each of the job, you are taking the first job. Find anywhere you see the tag lead. Go for the second one. Don't forget we're using a loop. What's a loop? You're going over and over something until you get to the last. Okay, so I'm talking on the first, the second, the third, the fourth, till we get to the last, the 10th job posting. Okay. I'll say, okay, find anywhere you see lead, but it comes with a twist. It comes with a twist, okay? Because the company name also has tag lead. The location also has tag lead. So what can we do? Okay, we're going to make it of what we call lambda in Python to be able to extract. Okay, that we're telling okay, anywhere you see this pound, where's the website? Okay, anywhere you see this pound sign, this E, yeah. Anyway, see, that's what I wanted to extract. Extract everything following it. Okay, so that's what we want to do right now. So I'm going to make it of lambda. So lambda is like a function, like I would say like a shortcut for function. So when during the training, we're going to teach you different types of function and how you can apply it to your data extraction or your data manipulation. Whenever you're working with data, you can make use of lambda. All right. So string equals to lambda. All right. And text. So I say, okay, anywhere you see that text that has pounds, I want you to extract that text. Everything that follows that text. Okay. So text. So anyway, you see the text and that pound sign, extract it. All right. So I'll just copy the pound sign from the website. So copy this. Right. Copy. All right. Come back to the code and paste it there. All right. So anyway, you see this in our text, that is what I wanted to extract. So anyway, you see the pound sign, extract it. All right. So see, this comes with a twist. So you also have to be very careful because some of these tags can be same for other fields you want to extract. Just like we had the same tag for the location, the company, and the salary. So we have to know how we can structure it and write a condition to extract only what we need. All right. So now we can now go ahead and say if salary elements exist, that we have been able to successfully extract the salary elements, go ahead to add it to our empty storage, right? Go ahead to add it to our empty storage with salaries. We can just do this for salaries because we are extracting multiple salaries. Salaries dot append, right? What are we appending? The salary element that we already extracted. Salary elements. And the same thing we did the text in text form. And we're stripping any space that may follow it. We're stripping any space that may follow it. Strip. Right? All right. There's something I also want us to take note of. There's something I want us to take note of. So this can be applied to the other fields that we extracted before. But now if you look at this job listings, see the first one, it has salary. You see the second one, it has salary. The third one has salary, right? The fourth one has salary. Now the fifth one, okay, you'll see the fourth or the fifth one. If you notice there's no salary there, can you notice that there's no salary in this head of data engineering hybrid? Why? So things like this can happen where you won't have a salary information. So what happens when you want to extract this data? So if you don't have data, you can just if you don't find this salary there, just put none or not available. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So I say, okay, if we're able to find the salary element, that is all the salaries but you did not end up finding a salary for a specific job, that's when we now use the else. So if this is available, do this. Append it to our salaries. But if it's not available, what should we do? Else. Append none. Okay? So saying salaries dot append. I'll say, okay, append none or not available. Okay? So I just say, okay, for that particular job that does not have a salary, I want you to append none. So for that particular job. Okay? So now we can now run this and see what we have. So I'm going to run the salaries. All right. So you can see that we have our jobs. So from the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. So you see, we have like 3 jobs that do not have salaries. We have like 3 jobs that do not have salaries. So as long as we do not put this none there, it will just be empty and it can affect our data on later on when we want to combine this data and do some transformations. Okay. So we have appended none to all the ones that does not have salary included in it. All right, so now that we've extracted all these fields, what can we do next? We can then now convert it into a structured table. So we're combining all these fields together. You know, they're separate now. Each of them single, salary separate in a separate storage, company in a separate storage, title in a separate storage. Now we want to bring everything together into a structured format. So how can we do that? How can we do that? Right? So we're going to convert it into a data frame. This is where pandas comes in now. We're going to convert into a data frame, right? So we're saying df, this name of our data frame, df pd, which is the alias already gave when we were importing pandas, we gave that as an alias pd, an alias name, a nickname for it. Okay, so we're saying pd dot data frame, want to convert and bring everything together now. So data frame. So now we can now list out everything that we've done. So starting with the title. Okay. This is in dictionary format. So we're bringing everything together in dictionary format that will now be converted to a data frame. Okay. So we're saying title, which is the titles that we extracted, comma. We also have the links. Which is the links that we extracted, comma. Oh, the other thing we listen, the date posted, right? So this should be in quotes. So it might seem a bit technical, but don't worry. The program will hold your hands and take you from beginner level, step by step, tell you, okay, if you don't, okay, what is this doing? What is this doing? And how you can handle each of these data structures. Okay, date posted. Which is the date that we extracted. All right, so what other thing would be extracted? We extracted the company name, right? We extracted the company name. The company name, right? Which is the companies that we extracted. Companies. We also extracted what other thing? We extracted the location and the salaries. Location and the salaries. So I'm going to do that also at that. Location. Okay. And salaries. Comma. All right. This is the last thing we. Okay, I put salaries there instead of location. Sorry. So location. But so the last thing is the salaries that we extracted. So salary. This should be in quotes. This should be in quotes. Okay. Salaries is the last one. Salaries. All right, and that is it, our data frame. So now we can now run this and have our data frame ready. So I'm going to run this and let's check our data frame. Okay, Beautiful, beautiful. So this is what we have. This is everything we extracted from our database, sorry, from our website. So you can see the titles, the data engineer, head of data engineering, senior data engineer, assistant help desk and data engineer, principal data engineer, senior data engineer, with the links that are associated with these jobs, and dates posted, January 16th, the company names, the location where they're located, the salary, showing the minimum to the maximum salary, and if it's per day or per year. And there's some ones that don't have salary, so you put none there. So you can see this is how you can transform your data, extra data, transform it into a structured format, and then you can now do some transformations to it. Okay. So let me just write transformation. So we'll do a bit of transformation. Transformations. Okay. So if you have been following up to this point and you've been enjoying the session, so just write a 1 in the chat box before we move to the transformations. Write a 1 in the chat box. All right. Okay, Patrick, Lois, Taufik. Okay, iPhone. Okay. All right, that's good. So now let's do some transformations to our data. All right. Now, as a data engineer, you're going to be doing, when data is coming in, just like this data came in raw form now, and we're able to transform it into this structured format in table. Now, that's not the only transformation we need to do. We can do some transformations, other transformations, just to make our data more useful. Now, for example, this title, now let's say we want to know which one is mid-level, senior level, junior level, or manager level. How can we do that? Or let's say we even want to remove like the $ sign from the salary. How can you do that? Or you want to separate the salary, the minimum salary from the maximum salary. Each of them will have their own columns. How can you do that? Or let's say for the dates now, you want to also convert it to a date time format. So many transformations you can do. Okay. So during the program, we get to show you all these things, from the extraction to all the different kind of transformations you can do as a data engineer before then loading your data to where it's going to be. So now what you're doing as a data engineer, you're actually making this data useful. So once this data, you're transforming it in a way that, okay, once it gets to the storage, anybody is in, we just use it or upload it to the website, Tech Connect website, like that, because you have already been able to simplify the whole process. Okay, so let's just do transformation. Let's change our date time, our date posted to like the correct date time format. So I say, okay, pick out the date posted. We want to pick out this column. We want to convert this to the correct date time. We want to convert this to the correct date time. Okay, so it's okay. Pick out this column, the date posted. So this should be in quotes. So the date posted, pick it out. For that one, we want to transform. Okay, and I'm saying, okay, this is where pandas come in. So whenever you're hearing pandas is used for data manipulation, pandas is used for data cleaning, pandas is for data transformation, or data, this is what we're doing now. We're using pandas, PD dots. I'm saying convert this to date time, to the correct format, to date time. Okay? Convert this to date time. And we're specifying the column we want to convert to date time, which is the date posted column. The date posted column. Okay? Convert this to date time. We also want to specify the format for it to convert to. Okay? Okay, we want it to be in this format from day, month, year, or year, month, day, depending on what you're working with. So I say, okay, this is the format I want to. This is the format I want. Okay, so this should be in quotes also. So I'm saying start with day. Start with day. I'm saying, okay, the month next. And also the year. All right. So now I'm going to run this and see what we have to run. So let's check our DF. Let's check our DF. All right. So who can tell me the difference between these dates and these dates? Can anybody see the difference there? So you can see this was showing 22 January in full 2025. And this is showing in the correct date time, short from 2025 January 16. All right, so that is one transformation you can do. So let's say we want to do a bit more complex transformation. Okay, let's say we want to know which roles are senior level. Now you can see we have one head of data engineering. Which roles are entry level? Okay, like that is the only ones that have like data engineer. Okay, so I'm going to write a function. So functions are a bit, like I said, we have different functions. You know, earlier we used lambda function. Now we want to use the defined function. Now this one, I'm defining my own function. For lambda function, you don't have to define anything. This one, I want to define what I need the function to do. So now in the course, we're going to tell you, okay, how does function works? Okay, all this we're going to teach you in the training so you understand better. So whether you're a beginner, we tell you, explain in-depthly for you. So, okay, I'm saying, okay, extract, or we can just give it a name, experience level. Experience level. I want to know the experience level. So that's the name of my function, experience level. And I'm going to, okay, I'm working with the title here, or is the title we're working with here, the job title. Okay. Now I'm going to write my function, right? But before that, I'm going to convert all the title to lowercase. As you can see, we have capital letter D, capital letter A. So I'm going to convert everything to lowercase to be able to work with it better. Okay. Title lower equal to. So in Python, we have a function called lower. So it automatically converts maybe your upper cases to lowercase. Okay. So lower, which is a function, we use that. Now we can now go ahead to write our condition. So I say, okay, look at the job title. Anyway, you see, if you see senior, that is a senior level, right? Return senior level, right? So if you see senior in the title lower, that's the title already converted to lowercase. So if you see senior, what should you do? What should you do if you see senior? So I'm supposed to put, yeah, an indentation. So if you see senior, that is the senior level, return senior. Right? Return senior. It should be in quote also. Return senior. Now, if you see ed, what should you do? Return ed. If you see just data engineer, just return entry level. Okay, so I'm going to write a condition for the anyway there's ed of data engineering or the manager. Can write that also. So anyway you see ed, what should you do? Anyway you see ed in the title. Lower. Don't forget this is the title already reduced to lowercase. Dot lower. So anyway, you see ed, what should you do? Return ed. That is a senior level, like manager level role. So I can just write like manager, or you can use ed for anyone. Okay, or you can use lead. Okay, instead of using ed, you can use lead. So you can just write it like any transformations you want to do actually. So return. So we can do the same thing for lead also. If we have a role that has starting from lead, so lead data engineer, lead data scientist, you can do that also. Okay. So return ed. So I'm going to do this again. So if you see lead, so this is just one type of transformation we can do when we've extracted our data. So title lower, what should you do? Return lead. Okay. Return lead. All right. So, and last but not the least, after going through all this, you can now go ahead to return So instead of doing this, I will just use the elif. So in Python, instead of using if, you can just use elif. So all these are going to be taught extensively in detail in the training program. So elif, instead of using if, so elif, because you have multiple conditions, starting from if, elif, then you can now end it with else. So after you have done all this, met all this condition, and you have checked everything, or you have removed all the one that has senior, you have removed all the one that has head, you have removed all the one that has mid. What we're left with is the only ones that have data engineer. That is the entry level, right? Or you can also add one for middle level, mid-entry, mid data engineer. Okay, so I'll just leave it as this. Else, return, else, return, entry level. This should be in quotes. Else, return, entry. So now this is our function that I've run. Let's now apply this function. This is just a function that I've created. I've not used it yet. It's just a function that I've created. Now we can now get to use this function. So I'm going to run this function and now apply my function to the old data frame. Okay, I'll apply my function to the old data frame. So are we still following? Okay, yes, you can do for principal. So let me just add for principal also. Let me add for principal. So I told you, like, depending on what you can do for mid-level also, mid-level, anyway, it's in mid-level. Return mid-level, that this is the mid-level. So I'll just add another one for principal also. So elif, we're adding another condition. Elif, anywhere you find principal. Okay, anywhere you find principal there, return what in our title. In our title, what? All right. So anywhere you find principal, what should you return? Okay. So you can return principal. Okay. So that's another title on its own. Yes, most times you see principal data engineer. Okay. So return principal. Okay. So now we can now run this. We can now run this, right? All right. So if we're still following up to these points, so let me see one's in the chat box. Let me see ones. Are we following with this transformations, or is it's looking technical? Okay. Okay. Okay, I can see your ones. All right, that's good then. That's good. All right, so let's continue. Let's continue. So now this function that we've written, we want to be able to apply it to all the data frame. Okay, Tafik said a bit technical. Or don't worry, in the training, it's when because now you have not started from the basics. But when you start the training, we are taking it from the basics. So this function I'm showing you here, I'm going to show you, okay, how do you use this? How do you use this? So you are starting from the ground level, so it now becomes more technical. Okay. So just it might seem technical now, but during the training, start from the groundwork. We take, okay, this is this. Okay. So now let's apply this function that we've written. So we want to create another column for this that will show the specific.
Yeah, hello, Taiwo.
Sorry?
Yeah, you want to start running up so that we can finish up, okay?
Okay. So experience level. We're creating another column for this to show that, okay, this is the experience level that were extracted separately. So DF, we're applying it to the title. Don't forget, we're applying it to the title. We're applying it to the title, right? Dot apply. So what I'm saying is that, okay, this function that we've created, this experience level, this is the name of our function. This function we've created, we want to apply it to the whole of our data frame, the whole of this table. We want to apply it to the whole of the table, all of the title in our table. Okay, so that's where the apply function does. So the apply is applying the function to each of the rows in our table. Okay. So if the name of our function, the experience level. So now we'll run this and we'll then check our data frame. So let's check our data frame. So df. All right. So what can you notice? What can you see? Can you see we already have a new column and it's showing, okay, where we have just data engineering, it's showing entry level. Where we have head of data engineering, it's showing head. Where we have senior, it's showing, okay, this is the senior level experience. Where we have entry, just data engineering, showing entry. Where we have principal, it's showing principal. Where we have senior, it's showing senior. So this is just helping you to, okay, what role should I apply for? Am I applying for entry level roles? Am I applying for senior level roles? Am I applying for like lower level roles or principal data engineers? Okay, so this is how you can transform your data. So after this one, you can now proceed to storing your data. Okay, so we want to store our data. So how are we going to do that? Although you can convert this data to CSV. Okay, so let's say we want to convert this to CSV. How are we going to do that? So I'll just create a file name. So df dot to CSV. Okay. So all these jobs of extracted, you can convert it and save it as a CSV before then saving it in your database. Okay. So give it the name of the file. So job listings dot CSV. Okay. So I'm going to run this. And this will create a CSV file for us. So if I open my documents, locate it there. Okay, so can you see the job listings that we just created? This is the CSV file that we just created now. Okay, so now we can now proceed to store our data in our database. Okay, so let's store our data in our database. So the first thing you want to do, because we're interacting with SQL, with PostgreSQL, there's a library that we're going to use to be able to interact with our PostgreSQL database. What is that library? It's the SQL Alchemy. Okay, so I'm going to import that because we didn't import that earlier when we imported our tools. So from SQL Alchemy, import engine. Okay. So I'm going to run this. All right, so that has run successfully. So now I can now go ahead to store this data in the database. And I'm going to need like a URL for this. So I'll just say URL equal to. So the first thing we want to start with is the Postgres. That's the name of the database we're working with, right? So this will be in quotes also. I'll signify that this is Postgres. Okay, so I'm supposed to say, signify storage. So I'll just create another storage. Okay, storage. All right, that is storage. So now we can now proceed. So one second. Sorry, so I'm trying to. All right, so let's proceed. So now we can now create our URL. PostgreSQL. All right. And this is followed by the username of your database. All right. So the username is Postgres. Okay. And then we have the password. All right. The password working with as the local host we're working with. So when you're working with database, you want to check the password you're working with. So this is my PG admin. So I'll just open this. So okay, this is taking time to load. So while we wait for that to load, we can just go ahead to write our URL because we have to create the database first before we then use the database in our code to load the data. Okay, so let's just wait for that to load so we can then proceed. So at localhost, okay, I want to use the port number that we're going to that we're working with, which is 5432. So there are different, your port number can be 5432. So depending on what you're working with, that's what you use. And the last thing we're going to do is the database name. So I already have a database there, which I'll just use since we already have this. Okay, so this is the URL we're going to be working with. So let me check the Postgres again. I'll just load this. So just wait for this to load. You can see the data we already have there once we load it. Okay, so it's taking time to load. So yeah, I'll just show you how you go about it. I was supposed to create a database first, but since I already have a database there, I'll just make use of this, the one I already have there. All right. So from the name of the database, name of the because you have different database, you have MySQL, you have Postgres, you have SQL Server. So you want to signify, okay, which one am I making use of? Which one am I making use of? So this should come after this with 2 slashes, then the username, the password at localhost, and first number you're working with the database connection you're working with. All right. So now we can now go ahead to load data. Okay. So I'll start with connection. It's supposed to be with engine as con. Okay. And then we'll now go ahead to convert this data frame that we already have here to SQL. So I'm saying df.sql, df.to-sql, df.to-sql. Okay. Then the table name that we're making use of. So we can give this job listings. This should be in quotes. Job listings. Okay. Okay, that's okay. If we want to make use of the engine, so I'm just going to specify this upon. Now I say, okay, go into the database, load this data, but if you find a table there, you can replace the data. You can replace this table, okay? Or we can just leave it as this. So depending on what you want to do. Okay, I think so 1 minute, please. Just going to create an engine. Okay. So engine equal to create engine. Create engine. So this engine is what is going to power up our connection. So create engine. And we now use this URL that we already created there. So that's something I missed out. So this should be create engine. Create engine. Yeah, correct. All right. So now we can now proceed and run this. This train create engine not defined. Okay, so one second, please. Let me try to debug the error. Okay. Create engine not defined. Okay. Let me run this. Let me run this again. Create engine. So run this. Okay. And then run this again. So while we wait for the data to load. Okay. Okay, so this is trying an error. So context manager. So as a data engineer, you can actually experience errors like this. So you just have to navigate the errors. So let me just, so this is not loaded yet. All right, so not to waste our time. So I'll just, so basically we've been able to extract the data, transform it. So it's just the loading part. So I'm guessing because the Postgres is taking time to open. So yeah, but that just covers the ETL process. So you have extracted the data, you have transformed it, and you have loaded it. Okay, so I already have one that I loaded before, but because this has refused to open. So yeah. Thank you everyone. So if you follow through with today's session, if you enjoyed it, give a 1 before I hand over to Chukwemeka. You just give a 1. Give a 1. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, so thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Okay, you need the password to connect the database. So it's the password of your database, of your Postgres database. Okay, so that's why you need the password. So if you don't put the correct password, you won't be able to access your database from Python. Okay. So thank you. So Chukwemeka, please.
All right, thank you so much, Taiwo. It's been an insightful session. Oyindamola, please make my second device a co-host. Okay. So for everyone that didn't follow through, just know that it is not something that you can easily, with the snap of your finger, just grab everything once. Okay. It's gradual process. In fact, ETL is not. It should be like one of the 6th topic that you handle when you come into the program, right? So it's not like instantly you are moving into ETL. So you have to walk through several processes, understand Python, understand SQL, and then you move on to ETL fully for it now to be able to know how you can be able to extract, transform, and also load into a database. So don't see it that you didn't follow through or it was very stressful. It is not hard, okay? So what I always tell people is that it is not hard, it is not easy. It's all about you making up your mind that this is a path that you want to go through. Okay, so the session is just for us to show you how you can also be able to learn. And this is how we teach in the class using project and practical-based model. For instance, if you worked as a data engineer with us, you have an experience to respect, while I was consulting with analysts, I was able to scrape a job post for me to be able to identify all the job vacancies that they made relating to a particular date. And then you had to transform it in your own integrated development environment and then load it to the database. And now automated that same process that each day, the only thing that the company needs to do is just go to that point and refresh. And it's going to also bring out all the newly posted job vacancies. And for a fact, this is also what we do here in Analytics, okay? Because our students also have access to various job boards. So what we do in-house as well is to scrape different job boards and then make all those posts that is on those job boards available for our students to also apply to them. Okay, so it's part of what we teach and it's part of what we also implement in our own program. So don't feel left out that it's very hard. We're going to hold your hand and walk you through from the basic to the advanced level. Okay, so I know when Taiwo mentioned if you followed, I saw that just up to, I don't know, people that just typed in 1, they are not much. I think they should be at less than 20. So does it mean that others that we didn't get anything from this session? Okay, Does it mean that we didn't get anything from this session? Okay, I can see a couple of thank you from Shehu, Amy, and of course, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, amazing. It's always great to have you on the call. So please, it's important for us to also know that these programs are all practical sessions where you get to understand and follow through. So I'm going to now walk you through the pathway to you becoming a certified data engineer. Now, when I mean certified, it's from the aspect of you having the skills and the experience that you need for you to be able to land a role. Okay, so don't see it the certified from the aspect of a certification. All right, look at it from the aspect of you getting the skills and experience that you need to land a role. So, question that people always ask is, how do I get started? How do I even select the right career path? But by virtue of us having you in this ETL class, I believe that we've already identified I want to be a data engineer. But just to walk you through a little bit of history, what we always do at the end of each year is to scrape different job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, for us to get all the jobs that was posted for that year. And then we analyze them using 3 basic metrics: ease of learning, ease of transition, and of course, high rewarding salary. So from it, we're able to get 8 different career paths that will give you what you're looking for. So you have your business analysis, your agile project management, data analytics, data science, cybersecurity, financial analytics, and of course, HR analytics. But for the virtue of this class, we are concentrating on data engineering. And after analyzing this job, we sought for external validation to make sure that all these jobs that we have selected, that they will be relevant in the next coming years. Okay, so we need to know that they are going to be relevant in the next coming years. So what did we do? We did what we call a review of the World Economic Forum report. So recently, they also released the 2025 World Economic Forum report, the future of jobs. And from there, we saw that in the next 5 years, by 2030, 170 million jobs are going to be created. And in that same process, 92 million jobs will disappear. Okay, and a lot of people have realized that jobs is among the ones that is going to disappear. So how do you make sure that you are not within that 92 million jobs that will disappear? So if you look at the fastest growing jobs, you can see clearly the number 1 and the number 6 clearly relates to data engineering. So in number 1, you have your big data specialist, and then number 6, you also have your data warehousing specialist. So they are all relating to data engineers. And this is to show you that data engineering is the number 1 job that is going to grow in the next coming years. I mean, last year when we look at this same report, we noticed that it was AI and machine learning. Okay, as of 2024, AI and machine learning, which relates to data science, was number 1 fastest growing jobs. But now you can see that AI and machine learning is number 3, while big data specialists are number 1. And it's simple, really. AI and machine learning guys, they've done their bits. Now, there is need for people that is going to build the pipeline, the architecture to process and house all this data that they've turned out for these last years. Okay, and that's why big data specialists, they are on the rise. Okay, they are on the rise. If you even look down, you can also see other career paths that also still relate to data engineering. But we want to just highlight these 2, all right? And that is big data specialists and data warehousing specialists. They all relate to data engineers. Now, if you look at the entire report itself, which when you fill the attendance form, you are going to have access to the report and also have access to the slide that we're using for this discussion. And in case you don't see it, please make sure to check your promotion emails and also your spam emails or your junk, because sometimes it can enter some of those outlets. So make sure that you check them also. So you can clearly see that big data specialist, like I mentioned, is the number 1. And also data warehousing specialist is amongst the one that is going to grow. And as well as this data engineer. So clearly they came here and identified it fully as part of jobs that are going to grow. So on this left-hand side, we have jobs that will grow in the next coming years. Okay, while on the right-hand side, we have jobs that will decline in the next coming years. Okay, so what I always advise you to make sure that you're doing is make sure that you move from this right-hand side to this left-hand side. So if what you are doing at the moment is on this right-hand side, things like chemists, mechanical engineering, surveyors, secondary education teachers, garments and related trade workers, make sure that you move from that right side to the left-hand side, because these are the ones that will continuously grow and be in demand. Why these ones? They are going to decline in the next coming years. Okay, so clearly, data engineering is the #1 fastest growing job across the world. And we didn't come up with this report, it's from the World Economic Forum. And what happens every year is that world leaders come together to discuss on some certain issue, and part of the segments that they also handle relates to the future of jobs. And each year when they come together, they deliberate on all these things. And from there, they come up with all these reports with respect to the ones that are going to grow and the ones that are also going to decline. On the next page, you're also going to see data architects as well. So these also jobs that will grow. And then the right side, you also see the ones that also will decline. So you can clearly see that data engineering is also still part of the ones that will also continuously grow. Like you can clearly see database architects, which also relates to data engineering. So like I said, make sure that you do everything possible to move yourself from this right-hand side to the left-hand side so that you will be with the jobs that will grow. Okay, so when you get the report, you can go through it and be able to personally see all the things that have been written there for you to know how you can also go about them specifically. Okay, you need to be able to go through them to understand it ideally and internalize them to choose the one that relates to you fully. Now, for you to be able to land a job, 3 things are just involved: learn, package, and apply. And first thing you need to do is to learn an in-demand skill, which I believe if you want to break into tech, data engineering is one of the in-demand career paths that you should be considering. The next one is for you to package yourself relating to CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization sessions, mentorship sessions. And then lastly, for you to apply to roles. Jobs are not going to land on your laps if you just sit down. So there is need for you to apply to all those jobs as well. So all these things always seem impossible until it is done, which is why I've brought up a couple of people that have been able to make this move. So we have Michael Oseyemi. So Michael landed his first role as a sales engineer in a software company in the UK after completing his own data engineering program. And what Michael had to say is that he loved the mentorship and interview prep session because those are the things that helped him with respect to landing his own role as a data engineer. So you can click to hear what Michael said. We also had Idris. Idris landed a full-time job with Jaguar Land Rover, okay, in UK as well as a data engineer after completing his own training with us. And he's currently on his second role as a senior analytics engineer. And his own, what he mentioned that stood out for him was the references that we also provided with respect to all these roles that he went for. Because by virtue of you working on project-based learning with us, you are also going to be giving references and recommendation letters to show that, oh, you consulted with us so and so period of time in case any employer is looking for it. We also had Joel. Okay, Joel joined our data engineering program after he finished his own chemical engineering degree. Okay, and he also landed a remote job working as a data engineer. We have a lot of people that have been able to make this move in the past. Vivian did data science, landed a role. Oluwadamilare also did a role in data analytics and also landed jobs. Ikmat, who is my favorite person, also landed a job after completing our data analytics program. And I love her own story, especially because she referred to herself as a full-time stay-at-home mom. But from there, she was able to move into the tech industry. So it is always seem impossible until you make the move. So all these are success stories of people that have been able to make this move before you. So when you get the slide, please make sure that you listen to what they said for you to have a better understanding of how you also can approach your own career path. Okay, so people also ask, okay, how were they able to do this, and how can we, analytics, be of help with respect to you landing your role? So it is simple. Number one is for you to first of all identify your desired career path and then learn the skills. Learning the skill is very, very crucial. So our own model will have both self-paced materials and live instructor-led classes. So we always have instances where people mention, oh, I learned SQL using Udemy, I learned SQL using this platform, and so on and so forth. But I don't know how to apply them to projects. Now, that is the challenge with respect to doing all those sort of learning, right? But what we do here is a live instructor-led class. The same way you had Taiwo walk you through all those programs, how you can be able to scrape, how you can be able to transform and also load it. That's how you have someone holding your hand and walking you through all these processes. The number 3 is for you to gain project-based experience. Okay, for instance, if you walk through this project that Taiwo just brought tonight, you can comfortably beat your chest anywhere and tell recruiters, oh, while you were consulting with analysts, that you worked on a project that required you to automate the job availability on a platform and make it possible for a company, that all they had to do is just click a button and it's going to show them all the jobs that were posted on that site. Okay, you can comfortably be able to speak from a place of experience because it is something that you have been able to do. And then number 4 is for you to gain employability skill, which I will also explain clearly. Then networking is crucial. We've had instances where one person moved to a company and then another vacancy came up in that same company and he was able to refer people that he also trained with. Then mentorship is very key because this is where you also get people that will walk you through some challenges that they face during their own time. And then lastly, all these stages is to bring you to this level, which is you have gotten your own job. So it's simple, just a 6-step approach. First, you need to identify the career path that you want to move into. And then the rest is for you to register with a learning partner that's going to equip you with the skill and the product-based experience that you need. So I have one question for everyone here. And this is a question that I always ask in all my master classes. You have a car and your car has faults. Are you going to give your car to someone that is saying, oh, I'm a graduate from Harvard University, mechanical engineering, bring your car, let me repair it for you? Or someone that is going to tell you, oh, I'm not a graduate, but I'm an experienced mechanic. This is my mechanic workshop. I've repaired a Benz, I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Toyota. Bring your car, let me repair it for you. Whom are you going to give your car to, this or that? Let me even hear and gauge our own understanding of how this environment works fully. Okay, so let's keep it coming. Steve Jobs, experienced mechanic. Theo, experienced, amazing. Okay, fantastic. Others on this call, because I want to hear from everyone respect to how, knowing how we understand this tech industry that we're looking to break into. Because if what you are looking is this, which is just a degree, then you are going to lack a lot with respect to breaking into the tech industry. Because what recruiters are looking for is the skill and the experience. Recruiters are looking for who has the skill and the experience for them to be able to practice what they are going to do. They don't want, oh, I need a data engineer that can come and speak big grammar. No, are you hands-on? Which is why everything that you are going to be learning, you will have to build a portfolio. All right, so the same way the mechanic has a workshop to show us evidence of things that they have been able to do before now, that is how you also need to also build your own workshop that is in form of a portfolio to show evidence of things that you've been able to also do. Okay, so if I can see my screen, you can see a portfolio of what our past students was able to build. You can see one he did using GitHub to show evidence of all these projects. On Jupyter Notebook, Zipco Foods ETL case study using Airflow for orchestration. This one is for property housing. This one is also Nuga Bank Spark ETL case study. A lot of projects. And when you click on each of them, you can easily see every single line of code that he was able to run. And these are things that will show you as an approved individual with respect to experience. Okay, someone can come and say, oh, I'm an experienced data engineer or I'm a software engineer. I've done this, I've done that. Where is your workings? When you're not able to show it, that is where the challenge comes from. But in our program, you are going to be taught using project-based model for you to build a portfolio, rich portfolio, to show as evidence of things that you have been able to do before now. So when you get the slide, feel free to click on the link and go through it to understand all those projects that our data engineers has also been able to build in the past. So what skills do I need for me to land a data engineering role in 2025? Okay, so it's simple. Our own key learning areas is structured in a way that it carries you from beginner stage to advanced level. Okay, first thing that you're going to be learning in the class is introduction to data engineering, where you understand data architecture, data lifecycle management, before you now move on to learn SQL. Okay, so you need to learn SQL, and then of course Python programming, then Linux operating system. You can see that what we handled tonight, which is building ETL pipeline, is number 5 in your key learning areas, which is when you join the program, it might even be as far as maybe your 3rd month or thereabouts, because you need to learn SQL, learn Python programming, learn Linux operating system before you now move into how to do what we are doing this night. So you can see that you have a lot for you to be able to catch up on. Now, after building all this, how do you automate those pipelines? That's where Apache Airflow comes in, okay? For you to be able to automate all these things, you need to understand Apache Airflow. We're also going to walk you through cloud engineering to learn GCP and Azure, okay? You're going to learn GCP and Azure before you move on to version control using GitHub and then ChatGPT. So everything that you will be learning is to prepare you to function as a full data engineer, okay? So if you're looking to break into data engineering, these are the key learning areas that you need to be able to understand for you to get into this career path. So first thing is the intro, and then you now be able to build yourself one step at a time till you get to the last level. All right, so the learning timeline, the class holds every Saturday, okay? Morning 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and then the evening class 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., okay? So we have 2 different classes, one for people in Europe and then one for people in North America. So if you're in Africa or Europe, the morning class will be stable for you. Then if you're in North America, Canada, US, then the evening class will be for you, okay? And then the next week, you have what we call self-paced videos, okay? Watch me do it videos. So we have 2 models, live classes and self-paced video. If you have your live class this Saturday, next weekend, the expectation is that you're going to have a self-paced video to watch. So this is to help you to learn deeply and also have a live practical experience in the classroom. So for all the programs that we offer, we have 2 options. We have the 8-month plan and we have the 12-month plan. So for the 8-month plan, you learn in the classroom for 6 months, okay, and then have an internship experience where you also build other projects for 2 months. While in the 12-month plan, you have a 6-month classroom learning and also have 6 months extra for your internship experience. So this gives you the opportunity to have leading companies like Analytics and Amdari on your CV, okay? Showing that, oh, you worked with Analytics and you also consulted with Amdari. So this boosts your portfolio, it boosts your experience to show that you've had an experience in these 2 companies. Okay, so if you're looking to have an experience, if you're looking to build up your skill, then you should be looking to key into our learning program. And it doesn't just stop there rather, because for you to learn and land a job, 2 things are involved: your technical skills and your employability skill. Okay, and one thing I've noticed in the industry is that a lot of us have the technical ability, but when it comes to tailoring our CV, having those employability skills that will get us to the door, that is where we have lack. Okay, which is why we also walk our students through all these employability skills. First thing is your CV review sessions. How do you optimize your CV to enable you apply to multiple roles? For instance, as a data engineer, you can apply to role as a cloud engineer, you can apply to role as a database administrator. So you need to be able to tailor your CV down to each of those specifics, which means you cannot use one CV to apply to multiple roles. Okay, so when you join, we're going to provide you with a CV template and also teach you how you will be able to tailor these CVs down to the job they are applying to. Then consistently, you are expected to optimize the CV before you apply to any role. Then LinkedIn optimization also. What I've noticed is that any job that is advertised, recruiters have tried to fill that role without advertising it, okay? Because it's easier, it's simpler. And how they do this is to go to LinkedIn and personally headhunt for people, okay? And then schedule them for interviews. Then if they were not able to get someone, that's when they can now start advertising. So we walk our students through how to optimize their LinkedIn profiles in a way that recruiters will be able to also see you. Then how to navigate the job market. We are also bringing expert recruiters back to the classroom to walk our students through different job boards that they can easily utilize with respect to landing roles. An interview prep session, this is very, very important. It's very, very crucial because when you land an interview invite, we are here to prepare you for those interviews. We look at the job description and have a sit down with you to, understand the various questions that you are going to be asked. How do you use the SIT framework or the STAR approach to answer situation-based questions? Okay. And then we also are able to provide you with references and recommendation letter. And of course, on the job support, where you've landed a role and you are still struggling to find your fitting, we are available to you for 1 month. You can comfortably be able to handle that job. But we barely get all those requests because if you walk through the program from beginning to end, you won't even need our help with respect on the job support. Okay. And of course, weekly mentorship sessions is very vital, but this is where you learn from experienced people on some of the challenges that they had, and also Upwork optimization if you want to be able to freelance, get $50 here, $100 here, and then continuously build up your own profile from there. So all these are things that we give you. It's a combined package. You get the technical skill, you also get the employability skill. One is not separated from the other. They are joined together. So all these are also success stories of people that have been able to make this move before you. All right. So when you get the slide, feel free to look through it and have a better understanding of how these guys were able to make their own move. Okay, we had people like Abigail. Abigail used to work as a care worker in Canada, but now she's a business analyst manager, okay, with the government of Alberta in Canada. Okay, we have other people. We respect all the programs that we offer. There are people that have been able to make this move. In fact, last year, we had 355 people transition from our classroom into landing their roles. Okay, 355, which means for each day last year, someone got a job. Okay, and your own story can be the next. But first, you need to be able to learn. You need to be able to get the skills. You need to be able to package yourself and then learn how to also apply to roles. So all these, they are all success stories. I don't want to bore us through it, but when you get the slide, also look at this specific side where we brought past students back to sessions like this to speak. So you can hear directly from them. A lot of them came back to handle sessions where people had to now listen to them. Okay, so when you fill the attendance form that my colleague Ian Oluwa is dropping in the comment section, you have access to the slide and also access to recorded version. Remember, always check your spam, always check your junk, always check your promotion email boxes to see some of these documents that we are sharing with you. Okay, so last year also we got into the Alberta Catalyzer program where we are also continuously learning how to give back to the society. So last year we helped 355 people. How do we double that number this year and help 710 people landing their own roles as well? So continuously we are improving to be able to give better. And also when you are done with your own program, we're also going to give you a certificate that comes from ACTD. That's the American Council for Training and Development. So if you are also looking for certificates, we have it. But remember, the most important thing that you need to have is the skill and the experience. So how do you get started? What are the next steps? Okay, so our next cohort is starting on February 8th. Okay, so the next classes starts February 8th. And for you to be able to have access to any of these classes, you need to also register for any of those plans. So the 8-month plan goes for $900 full amount, okay? But at the moment, it is currently discounted to $750, which means you get to pay $750 instead of $900, saving you $150. Okay, for the 12-month plan, the full pricing is $1,200, but it's also currently discounted to $1,000, which means you also get to save $200 when you join the program. And you have the plan to pay instrumentally. For the 8-month plan, you can pay $150 per month for 5 months. And for the 12-month plan, you can pay $125 per month for 8 months. And let me now walk you through how you can also be able to secure your own spot. So simply click on the main stack link that colleagues are dropping in the group chat. Once you click on the link, it's going to bring you to our Analytics Enrollment Center. Okay, it will bring you to our Analytics Enrollment Center. All you have to do at this point is to scroll down and look for the path that you want to go for. Okay, so you can see our training calendar for this year. Next one is February 8th, next one March 8th, the last one April 5th, and so on and so forth. So we have new cohorts starting every first Saturday of the month. But what differs is pricing. Remember, there is a 20% discount now. There is no assurance that that discount will be existing by next month. Okay, so when you scroll down, you see all the programs that we offer. If you want to get into data engineering, this is data engineering. If it's 8 months or 12 months, click on the one that you want to go for. So let me demonstrate using the 12 months track. Once I click on it, it's going to bring me to this page, right? Where all I have to do is to select how I want to make my instrumental payment. Okay, it's going to bring me here. So you can clearly see that this is discounted for the first 20 people, and the 12 months track will have 19 seats remaining. I think for the 8-month program, it should be around 12 seats that is currently available. Okay, once that discounted pricing is over, the price reverts back to the full amount. So you can see that can pay as low as $125 for 8 months. So once you click on it, then click on secure your seat. It's going to show you how your payments are going to be done. First payment is due today. Next one is due by 23rd of February. Next one, 23rd of March. Next one, 23rd of April, and so on and so forth. Once you click on proceed, it's going to bring you to this checkout details page. So all you have to do now is to put your name, your email, your phone number, and pay for the product. So automatically, no matter where you are joining us from, it's going to give you the currency of that location. So if you're in USA, you're going to see the pricing in USD. If you're in UK, you're going to see the pricing in pounds. If you're in Germany, you're going to see the pricing in euros. If you're in Nigeria, you're going to see it in NG. And if you're in Ghana, you're going to see it in cedis. So no matter where you are joining from, it's going to give you the pricing in the location of where you are joining us from. Now, once you are done, all you have to do is go back to that main start page and click on upload your receipt here. So once you upload your receipts, a week before the classes start, someone is going to reach out to you with respect to the onboarding and also being able to put you on all the learning management system that you need to be in. So it's as simple as that for you to be able to secure your seat. I don't know at this point if there are questions from anyone so that we can clearly clarify on some of those challenges and then round up for today. But remember, the discount is just for the first 20 people to register for any of these programs. Okay, do you have any question from anyone? Feel free to use the raise hand icon and I'll call you up to speak, or also drop it in the comment section and I'll also pick the question from there and answer all of them. Right, so anyone from anyone, any question from anyone before we start rounding up for today? I can't see any hand raised and I can't see any question in the comment section. Okay, it seems that everyone understood what we said. Okay, I think there is a question that just dropped right now. Will the lectures be only on weekends? That's from Taufik. Yes, Taufik, all our classes are just weekends on Saturdays. So what we do, the classes are structured in a way that Saturdays you have your live classes this Saturday. Then the next Saturday, you are having a self-paced that you are expected to watch. Now, after each of those live classes that you've had, within the week, we also have what we call drop-in sessions. So this is a session where you're having challenges. You can come back to class and have a 1-hour session with the facilitator. Respect, oh, you're trying to practice what happened over the weekend and you're not getting it. So this one happens the week. It's called drop-in sessions to clarify on some of the things that was handled during the weekend. So the idea is simple also. Most people that come for our program, they are always the working class people, okay? And everyone works during the week, which is why we've aligned all our programs to be just on Saturdays. So your classes are fully only on Saturdays. In case someone misses a class, can there be any form of retake? If you miss a class, so all the classes are also recorded. So even if you miss a class, you can always go back to your classroom and watch the recorded version of the class. Okay, for instance, the class held on Saturday, by Sunday, the recorded version will be uploaded for you. So even if you miss a class on Saturday, on Sunday, you can go through it fully And if you're not having any challenges, remember there's a drop-in session that happens during the week. You can now come into that drop-in session and also ask your questions. I don't know if that makes sense to you now, Taufik. Will the students have access to a recap and for how long? Okay, that's the same thing. So the classes are always recorded and you have access to our learning management system and also your Google Classroom. So it is a lifetime access. All right, it is a lifetime access. For instance, once you join, you have access to this analytics learning management system where you can clearly see everything that is going on in the program. Okay, so let me go to the dashboard so you can also see how it looks. All right, so right here, you have access to your Watch Me, self-paced Watch Me Do It videos. Okay, and you can also have access to scheduling for your interview preps, requesting for reference letters, and everything. So here, everything happens and you have access. It's a lifetime access. So even all those interview prep that we have, all those, providing you with reference letters, it is forever and ever. At any time that you want to have an interview, you can always come back here and schedule an appointment with us, and you're going to be prepped for all those sessions. I hope that makes sense to you, Olubemiga and Taufik. Okay, I think that's the only questions that we have in the comment section. I can't see any hand raised. I can only read the ones that people are dropping. Remember, the discounted price is not for everyone. For instance, let me go to some programs like data. Okay, let me check data analysis, the 8 months program. Let's see how many discounted spots are available at the moment. Okay, so the discount is not by dates that it will be finishing. It's by number of people that secures their spots. Okay, so for this data analytics track, the first 20 people for this 8 months for data analytics has actually been filled up. And then based on requests, we have to now make available extra 20 spots. Okay, but for programs like data engineering, they may not have that opportunity because of how condensed their own programs are. Okay, so they may not have the opportunity for us to also open up extra spots. So make sure that you secure your spots as fast as possible so that once the seats are fully taken, the programs can start. And when you go back, you're not going to be seeing a different pricing there. How can I go into data analytics as a fresher, Angela? So Angela, it is also the same plan. Okay, if what you are looking to get into is data analytics, on that same track, on that same website, click on the data analytics program and register for it. Okay, and we are going to prepare you from the basic level to the advanced level. Okay, so we've had sessions that is specifically tailored to data analytics. We had one yesterday, why today is for data engineers. But once you register, it is also that same plan, and we're going to walk you through the class one after the other. Okay, what are the most needed tools or requirements for the training? That's Taufik. So what you need is your laptop and of course, good internet connection. Okay, your laptop at least have a Windows PC. It's very important. Have a PC that's at least 8 gigabytes and also at least 500 memory SSD. It's important for you to have all this. Just your laptop and a good internet connection. Okay, will you not cover other courses like Alpha and Snowflakes in data engineering? Fantastic question, Olubemiga. Now, please confirm that I can still hear me because can anyone? Okay, I can see myself. Now, we also cover all those aspects like Snowflakes. Okay, remember what you saw, that just basically the top levels. Under each of them, for instance, we're talking about SQL. There are so many things involved in SQL. Under Python, there are so many things involved in Python. Under Linux, there are so many things involved in Linux operating system. So the ones you saw are just basically the main headings of all those programs. Okay, link please. All right, Angela, so my colleagues are dropping the link for you to join the next cohort. Okay, so just check the comment section. You can see what Yanolua just dropped. Once you click on it, it's going to take you to the main stack page, and you can now easily be able to secure your spot on any of those programs that you want to go for. I wanted to know why the program is 8 months now, because it used to be 4 months. Fantastic question, Obiri. Now, constantly things are changing, okay? And what we've realized is that For us to be able to give more, for us to be able to not package and have what we call information overload, there is need for us to also be able to extend the program. People that did data engineering last year and people that are doing data engineering this year, what they are learning is entirely different because there are new things that have already been added. If you know Power BI is a platform that month on month, they are adding a new feature on their platform. So if you're not constantly evolving, then you might not be able to have the full understanding of what's obtainable. So we've improved our curriculum, and that necessarily made us to also improve the learning timeline because it's not something that will now be able to be comfortably be taken within a space of 4 months. So it's now doubled, and then we have to now also increase also the value that you are getting. So it is simple, Obiri. Our curriculum optimized, what we are giving, the values increased, and that's why we had to improve it from 4 months to 8 months for us to be able to accommodate everything that we need to also teach. And because people also mentioned that they are still going to work, they have to go and look for money, there's still need for you to be able to be yourself and not be overloaded. Because our success rate is 8%, which means it's 8 people out of the 100 that are coming to our program get to land roles that is beneficial to them. Now, that 12 that fall out, what we realize is that one of the key things that made them to fall off is they had information overload or they felt the program is packed and they needed more time. And those are the things that we consider with respect to the number of months that all these things are also going to be handled. I hope that makes sense to you, Obiri. Between data engineering and data analytics, which is easy for a fresher, Derek. So simple, Derek, I'm going to be honest with you. If you are a fresher looking to break into the industry, data analytics will be easier for you, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't get into data engineering. It's also all about learning. I had a friend, a pharmacist, that moved from being a pharmacist into a data engineer. He didn't do data analytics, he didn't do data science, he went straight for data engineering. And today, he's an amazing data engineer. So it's also possible, but the catch there is that if people that already have understanding are just giving ×2, the expectation is that you're going to give ×5. Go back through the classes, watch it again, practice for you to have full understanding of what transpired in any of those classes. Okay, so it is possible, but data analytics might be easier for you. Okay, so COO is asking for the link. Please let's also send the link for the attendance to the comment section. I think I've been able to answer all the questions that is in the comment box. Okay, remember the discount is just for the first 20 people to join the program. Okay, and like I said, for the last 4 years that I've been doing this, we will help close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing their first jobs. And these are the amazing places that these guys work. I always mention that our highest employer of labor is always NHS, and it's because these guys always give visa sponsorship. So most of our students always tilt towards the NHS. All right. Now, for the last years also, we've embarked on a lot of corporate social responsibilities. Last 2 years, someone went home with $1,000 in one of the competitions that we had. Last year, people also went home with $2,000. This year, I don't know how much someone is going to go home with. So here, you're also going to see all the success stories of people that have been able to do this before you. So while we're leaving all these things here, is for you to also be able to see them. You can listen to them, reach out to them on LinkedIn, and personally interact with them to know how their own experience was, and then make decisions from there. We don't have anything to hide, which is why all these things are made available to anyone willing to take any of our programs, okay? But make sure that you fill the attendance form so they can have access to the slide and also the recorded version of this discussion. So what happens most time after sessions like this is that those 20 spots are easily taken, right? Because people are trying to secure their spots for them to be able to get into the classroom. So I advise you to also look towards securing your own spots because it always sells out very, very, very fast. And if personally for you, you don't know the career path that you want to get into yet, in all those communities that you are coming through, someone is going to send a Calendly link for you to book a one-on-one personal consultation for us to look at your career path, your background, and now help you with respect to choosing the career path that is very, very ideal for you. Because we're not trying to make you get into data engineering or get into data analytics or get into a career path that is not for you. We want you to move into a career path that you have a transferable skill from where you are coming from. Okay, so please make sure that you secure your spots, and then you can now book the one-on-one consultation and we can have a discussion. Because if you wait for the one-on-one consultation before securing your spots, it might actually sell out. Okay, I think there's a question from Oluwaseun. I'm going in December cohort guides. It is fully loaded and amazing. The facilitators and coordinators are very helpful. I wish I started earlier. Fantastic, Oluwaseun. Thank you so much for joining this call to also give a short feedback. I really, really appreciate that feedback. So you can see Oluwaseun joined our December cohort, and he or she is testifying that it is fully loaded and amazing. Can I share something short, Obiri? Yes, please feel free to type in your question in the comments box or use the raise hand icon and I'll call you up to speak if you want to speak in the next few minutes, and then we are going to round up from here. So you can put it in the comment section, can use the raise hand icon, and then I can see you easily and then highlight you to speak and to unmute and speak to us. So Obiri, are you there? Are you typing something? Because we are about to round up for today. We've been here for roughly 2 hours, 23 minutes. I'm sure some people are already tired. So our plan is to at least hit it on the 2 hours, 30 minutes mark, and then we are done for today. So I think Obiri might be typing. I don't know. I can't see his hand raised for me to call him up to speak. But you are free to, share anything short that you want to talk to us about. Our website is on my screen, www.tenanalytics.io. And you can also reach us through our email address at enquiries@tenanalytics.io. And also through all these phone numbers, you can see our Canadian line, you can see our WhatsApp line, you can also see a Nigerian line as well, for you to also be able to communicate us at any point that you want to have these conversations with us. Remember, the best time to get into the tech industry is yesterday. The next best time is today. Some of us, for me, for instance, when I transitioned, I used 35,000 Naira to learn everything that I know today. Okay, but everything that I know, I'm sure if you want to take it from me, it's going to cost you millions, right? So that's why I always tell people, at any point that you see any of those discounted pricing, try as much as possible to grab it. People that registered last year, trust me, their pricing was entirely different. Okay, people that are joining this year, their pricing is also entirely different. I sincerely appreciate your clear explanation and teachings tonight. They were so straightforward and very easy to understand. I'll definitely join the class by God's grace. Okay, thank you so much, Taufik. And thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. It's really amazing having you listen to us for 2 hours, 30 minutes. And this is where we draw the curtain for today. And on behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, and also my co-founder, Efemena Ibro, and of course, my amazing data engineer that joined me on the call for tonight, Taiwo, I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you that joined us tonight. Like I always say, the best time to get into the tech industry is yesterday. The next best time is today. Okay, people like Dayo have already registered. Fantastic. Please, like I also mentioned earlier on the call, that 20 spots is easily sold out. So I always advise people to secure their spots as fast as possible so that when you go back to the link, you're not going to be seeing that the discounted pricing is over. Okay, so thank you once more to everyone that joined us. And this is where we draw the curtain. Thank you, and bye for now. Cheers, everyone, and have a wonderful day or have a wonderful night rest. Bye.